Okay, hello and welcome back to Heroes 3 as we continue our one hero challenge. And before we get on with the gameplay, I do just want to say on the kind of elephant in the room, the subject of Town Portal, going back to that, just to be like really upfront about how I feel about the way this challenge is going, I pretty much think there's not much that can go wrong. I've kind of felt that way since we got this stack of Ancient Behemoths all the way back in the second episode. This is a really powerful stack, and also bear in mind, as the enemy's defense improves, the Ancient Behemoths effectively grow into the game. They keep getting better. We also have some more of those available, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be fine. If the enemies try to build up, they might be able to sneak around us a little bit, but we should be able to cut them down using our Ancient Behemoths. And therefore, we are reaching a point in the game where, as much as I do like to give myself the extra challenge of not using movement spells, as much as it is nice to be able to win a map like this without movement spells, you do get to a point in the game where it doesn't actually affect the likelihood of whether or not you win the challenge, it only affects how long it's going to take you to do it. And I think we're pretty close to that point if we haven't already crossed it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the conditions on that. I did say in the first episode I wasn't going to put any restrictions on myself as well. A few people have pointed that out, but yeah, like I said, do like a bit of extra challenge if we can get away with it. But in this case, I no longer think that restricting ourselves from using Town Portal is going to make much difference to whether this is achievable. And therefore, the only condition I am now going to put on it is I will allow myself to use Town Portal only if we are able to defeat Bron. Because if we look across this, we can see Bron is the only remaining hero who's currently a good hero, who has a primary skill of 10 or above. He's the 11 defense. We've already taken out Zubin, we've already taken out Thane, although I think Thane is still wandering around somewhere. But yeah, we've already taken out some of the best heroes on the map, therefore I think we're at the point where we can start using Town Portal pretty soon. So just as a reminder of where things are, so we've got Loinus there who's pretty weak, we've got Strongglen who is attacking from this direction but is not going to be strong enough to take our town. And then I think we also have... yeah, we have Void just over here who did manage to take Brimstone but is very much beatable. And I think what we will do is we will begin by going towards this. Quite a few people have been insisting that I go for this crystal cavern right here, which I didn't really register it, and part of the reason for that is that now that we have the resource silo in this town, I didn't think it's that important, but I can kind of see the logic of going for it, so we will just take it. So we get the crystal cavern. That does give us the option of doing things I would have been previously reluctant to do, such as upgrading the Dragon Cliffs. But yeah, like I said, I really think the Ancient Behemoths are going to carry us through this game. The gold mine just there is very easy to do, but I'm really not worried about gold. So let's have a think about what we can actually attack next. So if we go above ground here, that takes us pretty close to this town, and then we can go to the northeast and we can go for Brimstone. I think we will do that. We will try to lock down that part of the map as we did previously. No point going for that. Subterranean gate just there, we want to instead go for one like this, which it looks like we should just go north. Before we go anywhere else, Mage Guild level 5 is not too far off, we just need a little bit more sulfur, so let's do that. And let's see what we get. Got the library here too, so 2 level 5 spells, Dimension, Door, and Implosion. Okay, so the same rules apply to Dimension Door as apply to Town Portal. So that's another thing we can unlock by defeating Bron, because yeah, like I said, the map is pretty obviously winnable after that point. Other things we can do, so there is the potential artifact merchants, although we don't have one in this town, but yeah, we can get rid of some artifacts if we want to. Yeah, I'm going to go towards this subterranean gate, and I think with none of our towns immediately threatened, maybe this one? But probably not though. Yeah, I'm just going to end the turn there. So Loinus isn't a threat, a purple hero appears, and Teal is actually going towards that town, which is probably actually a good thing. We'll have to use a few movement points to get over here. Let's remind ourselves where this goes to. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. So that's Rissa, who is not their best. Okay, there's nothing threatening here, let's go straight for it. It's probably fine, I'm just going to accept that, and then we go for this. That's not so fine. Okay, so Josephine's in the town. She's pretty good. We can attack through this into the Magogs if we want to. Other things we can go for, Meteor Shower, 475 points of damage. That's not actually that great. I think the usual teleport into the town is probably our best bet. I'll go for this. It's actually quite a strong force in here. They do go for the slow on those, but that's not going to stop us too much. So next stack of theirs to move, the Ifrit have not yet moved, so let's go for those. These will go defensive. Then strongest remaining stack, so 24 Pit Lords could be pretty dangerous. Do want to stop the Magogs too. I think we go for the Pit Lords though. So we actually don't quite finish them off. We do lose a Phoenix. Okay, never mind. You guys defend. Okay, next round begins, so we can finish off this stack. Let's do that. And we do get morale. Let's go for the breath attack into these. 25 of those left. If we go for the attack, we do finish them off. And then I think... well, next few moves are ours regardless, so we just go for this attack first. Can't quite finish them off, so let's go for the nice cheap magic arrow into those, and we kill these off. Okay, that's fine. One loss I kind of care about, but that's about it, and we have officially leveled up all of our skills to the maximum, so it is all about just the additional movement from logistics at this point. Nothing too great in this town, not even anything we can pick up as fodder unless we go for something like Tomb of Souls, which we do have that expert leadership, so I don't mind doing that. I think it's really useful just to have a bit of fodder at all times. There's no Mage Guild in this town, but our spell point situation is still fine. I'm going to go for this. Okay, so we can't get through there. Also takes us to here, so what does this show us? Purple town just to the north. If we look above ground... purple hero. Alright, well that's all fine, I'm not too worried. I mean, I guess the Rampart town could be attacked, therefore we should go for some kind of defense. I guess we'll just pick up the 80 Centaur Captains, that might be enough. No. A pack of Ifrit Sultans is more than I thought. Okay, these have served us really well, but I think it's time to let them go. I think we, instead of going for the upgraded Dragon Cliffs, I think we save our crystal, we go for the upgraded Enchanted Spring. Yeah, we're going to let the final Thunderbird go free, we're going to go for the Silver Pegasi, and we're going to see if we can hold this with no hero. Not really sure we can. But we'll see how it goes. So just checking what else went on, so we know there's a purple hero which is emerging from the south, so that's Ryland. Ryland is actually able to attack Hermit Cove, so we need some defenders in here, but we already have some, and they're not looking great. I think actually upgraded Gorgon Lair. And we'll see if we can scare off the Black Dragons with the Mighty Gorgons. Just gonna have to see what happens, might get attacked in a couple of towns here, so purple does move in but doesn't reach. Heal backs off, and we're free to take the next purple town, which is pretty heavily defended, but we'll be fine. Oh, perhaps not. So we got Mephala in here with her armorous specialty, she's quite high level too. Fodder does make a difference immediately. Okay, so next to move are the Archdevils. Should we just kill those off? We can do so pretty easily. She doesn't have great range stacks. I don't think this goes through to the Archdevils. Yeah, and I'm not particularly keen to throw in my Ancient Behemoths either. I think we actually perhaps wait back. What I will do... I'll go for this. Then I'll wait. Okay, they slow those, that's fine. They actually target the Ancient Behemoths there, but we take the hit pretty well. This stack is then free to move. We can go across and block the Evil Eyes. Let's do that. Should be able to take a couple of hits there. Okay, no chance of teleporting in this turn, so let's just finish off this stack as I put myself in friendly fire range, but luckily we're fine for now. So Black Dragons are looking pretty weakened. I think we go for these next. Okay, really worried here because these could force our Phoenixes to friendly fire us. I don't know if there's much we can really do about that. I will try to block them off if I can, as they actually go for those instead. Okay. Yeah, we do get away with it. Okay, so we can attack through these into the Evil Eyes if we want to. I think we are better off just killing these off. As we don't quite manage to do so, do lose a Cyclops King, that's not too bad. We're going to save some spell points by not going for the Implosion. I forgot about the Minotaur Kings. Okay, that's a shame. Do lose a couple more Cyclops Kings as a result of that. Okay, a couple more artifacts, which I don't think we are too worried about, but we'll take the extra spell power, of course, and we could go for Castle Gates, which is a nice little workaround, although we just have the one Inferno Town for now. That could have been an option if we still had Brimstone. There are some units we can recruit here. We can recruit some fodder too if we want to, which does tend to work out. I think this time we'll go for just some basic familiars. Drop some defenders in the town. And do want to see where this goes. Okay, so this actually leads straight over to Voltara. This is a one-way entrance, so we shouldn't risk that. If we go above ground here, that actually leads really close to Brimstone, which has become the Teal capital. I'm not sure where Bronn is. I do want to take this town first, I think. As we are running low on movement points, but it's fine. Okay, ending the turn there, as this town does get attacked, and a loss is expected. I'm not too surprised by that, but yeah, this is the kind of thing where we could easily handle Ryland, but we're forced to take him on. I didn't mean to lower the gate there, how annoying. Okay, we do Death Gaze one of those at least, that's nice. Yeah, Ryland could easily be handled by Dessa, so this is slightly annoying. It's fine, we're not winning this. Okay, Death Gaze the wrong thing. No such luck that time. Yeah, this one's over. Okay, purple appears over there. Teal takes our Crystal Cavern, that's rather annoying. Voltara is reasonably well defended, but we should still be fine to go for this. Let's go straight for the attack. Those losses look pretty acceptable. I'm still going to not accept them though, just because I like our stack of 4 magic elementals. I think they're doing pretty well for us. We can send these straight in if we want to. We can go for the attack through both of these stacks. I think as usual. Well actually, in this case, Meteor Shower on all 3 of these makes more sense. Okay, This time we don't get involved. Obviously AI loves throwing those into the landmines, which is an easy mistake to avoid. That's much better. And we do get the lookout tower as well, which reveals that we're actually very close to our other tower town. In this one, they do not have a great mage guild. They don't have the Wall of Knowledge. Let's go for that. Grab ourselves a bit of extra knowledge. We can go for the Obsidian Gargoyles instead of the Familiars. Let's do that. Okay, places to go next. So we do want to go above ground here. We can see purple just there. That's Luna. Luna is not their strongest. Their strongest is actually Ryland. Rashka to the east. He's not very strong, but he could be a threat to this town, perhaps. For that reason, we'll keep these around. I don't really want to go chasing heroes like this down. It's not worth our movement points. Other places to go above ground. Nothing that gives us a real advantage. I think we do just want to go through here. And then we can take Heal's Capital next turn. Hopefully chase down, I can't remember who it was, Voy or whoever. How annoying. Okay. So the stone golems are a little bit too far away to get really involved. This stack obviously waits. This stack draws out retaliation. Okay, one dragon goes down, that's a good start. Okay, let's wait. Draw out retaliation again. This stack defends. Ah, perfect. So they do throw themselves into the landmines as per usual. Okay, let's move across to this, go for the attack. Gonna move to here just so the black dragons can't attack through us, although there is only one left. Okay, lightning bolts those, kills off a few. Does only have 8 spell points left, so we might still be just about okay. This stack's gonna wait. Then we absorb retaliation, go for the attack. Move up to protect, go for the attack. I think we actually stop attacking at this point. Because we still have our towers, which can win this for us. She can go for one more magic arrow if she wants to. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we do at least hang on to this one. I'm not sure if she's gonna flee. She does flee at last. Okay, so that town's very weakened, potentially about to be attacked again. There's a lot going on. Let's make sure we definitely don't forget to defend this one. As yeah, it is being rapidly approached by Gundula. That would be a horrible one to lose. We are just gonna spend... Oh, it's day 7 though. It's day 7, which means the treasury is about to kick in with the 10% interest, which means I don't want to spend too much. And probably don't need to. I think we go for just the Cyclops and maybe a big stack of these. And that might be enough. Yeah, that should hold it for us. I do want to save some gold, because it's 5,000 free gold going into the next turn, as yeah, lack of pathfinding here does hurt a lot. but just have to accept it, get this town back. Hopefully we can then go for town gates in both of these. So other places that are currently threatened, so Ryland is now coming for this town instead. There's not really much we can do. Golden Pavilion perhaps, but it's kind of expensive. Altar of Wishes likewise. Is there any chance? I don't really think there is. So 22 Iron Golems, will that make a difference? I think that is the thing to go for. We'll try this. Okay, gonna watch this back, so not sure where exactly that is. Nothing else is an immediate threat. Okay, ending the turn there as red does reappear, and now blue is potentially coming after us as well. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I referred to at the end of the previous episode. Month of the Pegasus, we'll take that. It's a shame we already bought those though. But yeah, this is the kind of thing I'm referring to where we're completely fine, like we can handle all these challenges. There's a little bit of attrition to deal with, but I don't feel like the achievability of the challenge is threatened. Okay, so just going to go straight for Voy. Hopefully our fodder will save us from some of those losses. Okay, so she has tactics. Fodder does help us slightly. Okay, so we can attack through some of these stacks if we want to. We still don't have Chain Lightning, unfortunately. Meteor Shower does 500 points of damage, which is not enough to kill off that many Archdevils. We still probably need to throw these in because we don't want to get friendly fired. I guess the thing I'm worried about is if Voy goes for something like Meteor Shower on these 3 stacks, that could be quite annoying. But yeah, I think we still go for this. Okay, goes for blind on those, that's absolutely fine. So we'll probably lose at least one of these, in fact we already have. We'll wait with these. Could send these forward. It depends if there's anything that's a serious threat in here, but I kind of think there isn't. So yeah, I think we'll get straight involved. Oh, shouldn't be positioned here, this isn't a good place. Yeah, this is the wrong place to go. There's a friendly fire, but we should be able to take at least one friendly fire. We'll just go with it. As they actually go straight for the Ancient Behemoth, I'm not sure what I'm missing there. They go for the double attack instead, that's fine. Okay, so next turn has begun. If we go for something like Lightning Bolt, 450 points of damage, that's not going to be enough. I think I prefer to haste. I'm hoping that will give us enough. No, not quite. I was hoping the Ancient Behemoths would get to move before the Archdevils. Okay, actually blinds those. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, go for the Mask here. Finish these off, which doesn't quite work out. Let me go for these. Goes for the blind again. So that does explain some of the losses. Yeah, when those Ancient Behemoths are blind locked, this does become a lot harder to avoid the losses. Luckily Cure is helping to keep our Phoenix alive. This time we kill them before they can move, and we finish these off. Lack of Resurrection is also unfortunate at this point. We do get Armageddon, which is interesting. Don't think we'd use it with the Behemoths. We have our Castle Gate if we want to. We probably should use that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what's through here. I'm going to check this again. So these two are... I don't even know where that is. I don't know if I care enough to find out. So this town, not this one. This town down here was still threatened by Ryland, but he actually chooses not to attack, which means we get a fresh batch of units, and we could probably go for something like Altar of Wishes. Okay, let's just stock up on what we have. And this is probably actually enough. Okay, so that town's hopefully safe. We saw blue appearing over here. If they go above ground there, that's not too far from the complex town. So probably have to be ready to defend this. We'll pick up the stacks we already have. That should be fine. Okay, so I think then we do go Castlegate here. Plus Castlegate here. And I'm pretty much just planning to follow the path. We can also go for a big stack of 2 lots of Inferno units of any stack of our choice really. So we could go for 4 Archdevils. Could go for 8 Ifrit Sultans. We are low on the Mercury. So if we want to trade for that, that is not too expensive. Don't know how much we really care though. 4 Archdevils. They are useful just because of the no retail. Okay, let's buy some fodder. I'm gonna trade some gems. I'm gonna do it this way for some reason. So yeah, I guess having that extra crystal does actually make a difference. We're not doing as well for resources as I previously thought. So yeah, I think at some point, relatively soon, should think about trading some artifacts for resources. Ah, they're just normal Ifrit, I see now. Okay, it's fine. So this thing takes us back to our other tower town, which is sort of threatened, but also not massively threatened. They go above ground here, that takes them to Hermit Cove, which they've already got. I think I prefer just to follow the path. We just see where that goes. Doesn't actually lead to any obvious town. I'm still going to follow this because it will lead to a town at some point, as there is a monolith here which takes us to here, which we already know about. Should go somewhere else too. Over here, which is not too far from red. Let's check this out. Red town to the northeast, perfect. Dungeon town as well, so we can go for the Mana Vortex next turn. Just going to end the turn there, not going to worry too much about building defenses. Okay, blue takes on that town, that's fine. That's kind of annoying, but we're not too far from there, so we can go and get that back. Okay. So Cyclops King's starting to really get whittled down now. I think... not any great choices of targets here. If anything, I think we stay back this time. I'm actually quite surprised we didn't kill those off. Okay, is there any way we can end this before the towers shoot? I don't think there is. Will Cure help us? It might actually save a Cyclops King. So let's go for that. Yeah, I think that did save one. Okay, that's fine. So if we go into this town, there's a level 5 Mage Guild, it's Magic Elemental, and there is Chain Lightning, that's awesome. So we'll go for Mana Vortex, of course. AI never builds that in this version. Take all of the additional spells, and then do we chase red down, or do we go back to get on Acropolis Town? I should have gone for the garden first, but never mind. So red is pretty close by, there are no available defenders. Yeah, I think we've got to chase this guy down, annoyingly. It's Sorug, who is their best. So yeah, Sorug is one of the best on the map. He was their best. Vay's overtaken him. And then yeah, Bronn is probably the best hero in terms of stats. Okay, let's go for this. So Chain Lightning should actually make a pretty big difference. Although our spellcasting's not great. It's got a pretty strong force. 19 Manticores in particular. Do we go for the haste and rush forwards? Actually looks like our Ancient Behemoths will be blocked until we move the Archdevils. If we were to go for Chain Lightning, it does 740 points of damage, that's nothing special. I think we do mass haste, and I think we focus the Behemoths on the Manticores. Okay, that was a massive waste of a spellcast. Some losses taken to the Ifrit, but that's fine, they're the closest equivalent to fodder. We will go for these next. Should have breath attack, but it's fine. Just trying to figure out if we still need to cast. So they do get to move next with a few stacks. Don't quite manage to kill them off, but it's fine. No further losses taken. Okay, no terrible losses. We take a couple of spell scrolls that we don't really need. We level up once again. That reminded me actually getting a thing there means we do need the Shield of the Damned on, and I've not really been bothering with things like Boots of Speed, because it's kind of tedious to have to change the kit around all the time. Don't think I care that much. Okay, so let's still go to this, because it will be useful at some point. Then I think we do start moving to the west. We'll go for the Necropolis town next. Other things that are currently threatened, so we've dealt with that hero. Blue is... I think they're moving up through the snow if I saw that correctly. I'm not sure if I did see that correctly, but if it is the case... No, actually this is a different place. I've actually got a nice little guard of lots of Pegasi there too. I think this town is reasonably safe, but I'm just going to pick up a few more of these. And these. Okay, so they're coming back for Brimstone. If they fight amongst themselves, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. So Brimstone is not heavily defended, but it should still be able to deal with Rashka. We just pick up the last of these. That's hopefully enough. Okay, so Veil of Darkness has gone up once again. This should be an easy fight for us, no losses expected. Okay, so how close are they? So Teal is just to the north, annoyingly. We do have some defenders available, but nothing great. We've got the castle, which helps. I guess we'll go for this. It's not much, but it's not nothing, and then I don't really want to chase that hero down. I would like to see who they are, if we can. We're so close to seeing, but I also just want to go through here. So this is pretty close to where blue was. But they've moved on. Okay, one more step. Nope, another step. So it's Sephinroth. She's actually pretty good. She's somehow not their best, but she does have several titans, so we should take her pretty seriously. She also has a pack of Master Genies. This is not necessarily that straightforward. Yeah, we should take this on properly. Otherwise she's just going to take loads of our towns. Okay, so I think once again the mass haste is probably a pretty good move here, and then I think we lock these down. Okay, so breath attack options, nothing great, but we'll give this a go. These go for the titans, of course. Okay, not too many losses taken there. She does have really bad stats, 0 attack, 1 defense. So this stack's still hanging on pretty well. 2 to 3 kills, not really good enough to be worth going for. 5 Iron Golems left. We probably wait before we go for those. Titan's still fairly healthy. Yeah, I think this stack waits. No chance we kill these off. We can kill off the Naga Queens guaranteed. Let's do that. Okay, still got a few moves. So 1 to 2 kills from these, then Cyclops 2 get to move. It's potentially not enough. Yeah, because we finish these off, then these get to move, although actually... we go. No losses, perfect. 6,000 experience is not bad, although we're pretty close to max at this point, or our full potential at this point. Other things we might want to do, another hero to the northwest. That one I think we just ignore. Still looking for Bronn. Not sure where he is. He's the one we put that condition on, which is currently holding us back quite a lot. So we could make that a bit of a map objective, but I think Dessa does have enough to be getting on with. Okay, just going to watch this back one more time so we know about this. We're fine with all of this. Hopefully those will kill each other. And that's kind of it. So Dessa, if nothing happens here, we're pretty free to do as we please as... okay. See, this is just endless firefighting. This is the problem. We could have invested more in this town, but, like... it was not very clear this town was threatened, and here's loads of spell points. So obviously picked up some Pegasi from somewhere too. Yeah, this is very over. We'll just try and hang on. If we can last one more round, that'd be nice. Okay, that'll have to do. Okay, so that's Red's revenge. Okay, what do we even do with that? So there's this monolith to the south, can't remember where that goes. This one doesn't take us anywhere super useful. We could pick up some gold dragons. Yeah, if we go for the upgraded dragon cliffs, it says it's not affordable. We can get that ore fairly easily. I still think most of these stacks are mostly good enough that we don't need to replenish too badly. So what can we do from here? So I am going to go back through this. And I'm not sure where exactly this goes, but I think it's possibly worth checking it out. Actually, this is a new place. It says there's no town though. So we shouldn't prioritize that. Blue is around there. But yeah, that's not so important. Okay, just gonna follow this along. I'm not sure if there was a Veil of Darkness I forgot about, but that was pretty pointless. Okay, where else does this go? What else can we do with this? Is there another monolith we can use, perhaps? No, this has been a bit of a letdown. Okay, I'm going to try going through this. I'm just going to see where this goes. It could lead to a monolith. No, it's literally the same zone we're already in. Okay, fine. There is the blue town to the south. How do we get to that? I do want to take that, I think, while we have some freedom. So red is there. We do have the fortress town near here to look out for. And, okay, that hero comes back. So this is Neela. Neela's actually their best. And we can see she is pretty good. So yeah, at some point soon we might need to restock. Obviously we can't win this. Yeah, she's pretty tough. We should probably actually go take her on. Okay. Through here first. And, okay, she's gone into the town. I think we still have to go for this. Here we go, this is new. What do we do with that information? So we got our chain lightning, which would be pretty nice. But it goes through the iron golems. Yeah, I can see why this is a problem. So she's at least not too high a level. I don't think we go for the teleport, because the ancient behemoths are actually quite at risk here. Maybe we do Chain Lightning and sacrifice the Phoenixes against the Titans. Okay, it does go upwards, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we just park ourselves here. Please wait. Okay, so we hang on for now. They go for prayer on those. Can they actually reach? No, so we're still fine. Kill those off, but that's fine. Titan's already moved. So, moving soon, this stack, which can't reach. This stack can go for some kind of blessing, but can't do much about that now. I think we go for these. Okay, so we take the hit pretty well, so our stats are really helping us. These can go down and go for this attack, which should be fine to do. We'll take some damage in response, but nothing too bad. Okay. I will go for these. Powers aren't doing too much. This time perhaps we Chain Lightning. Yeah. So the situation with these, 66 hit points is not a lot. These cannot reach us. We can move out of range of these. There's a chance they just get targeted. They're already being targeted by the towers. I don't really want to take a hit from 18 of these, and they do get to move somewhat soon. We could go for blind or something. I'm going to actually pull back. And I'll send these up as a block. Okay, they go for blind on those. Okay, this is a problem. This stack does get to move. Would they actually go for the behemoths? It would undermine their own blind. We can also go for something like this, which stops them moving out. So they're stuck in place. We do lose the Archdevil there. Okay, I don't normally use this bug, because I'm pretty sure it is a bug, pretty sure it's not intended. But yeah, this is a thing you can do. You can just park yourself right in front of their tower, and then they can get through if they kill you, but otherwise it's a problem for them. Okay, so we can finish off this stack if we want to. That stack can't actually harm us right now. A stack of 65 can't reach us. Other things that could happen, so I do want to weaken these, but yeah, I think just finishing off a stack would be nice. And then it is... Oh wow, almost completely lost that stack. It is definitely time to go for the Mass Cure. So I guess the corpse itself also stops the gate going down, which is not actually that useful for us right now. But yeah, gonna defend. Weaken these. Now I think we do go for this. Okay, lose the dragon, that sucks. Yeah, we'll bring these in, go for this. So yeah, the really important thing, as ever, is this stack of 9 Ancient Behemoths. Everything else is pretty replaceable. Even the Behemoths are technically replaceable, but that stack of 9, as long as that's healthy, I'm pretty sure we can take on just about anything. Okay, they do go for the blind, how annoying. Let's cure again. And we finish them off. So Neela is gone. We do lose quite a few useful units, nothing else too useful to be picked up, and we take this town back. And yeah, clearly pretty weakened from that. So need to plan next steps. I think we need to reinforce from somewhere, I'm not sure exactly where. But I think we have done enough for this episode, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.